Hello, everybody. My name is Clint Renfro, and I'm going to go over my demographic presentation with you guys today. So, first of all, we're going to start off with my community demographics. According to the 2019 Census Bureau's population estimates, Rush County has a little bit over 3,000 people, which is not huge. And the ethnic racial makeup of the county is about 96% white and 4% Hispanic. The school demographics for my middle school seen a decline in the last several years because in 2016 the population was about 88% white, 10% Hispanic, and 2% other. However, just last year in 2019 it was reported that our student population was 100% white. So there is a little bit of a decline in the diversity, but um, it just ebbs and flows just like everywhere else. The school organization and climate. The middle school has a number of student organizations and extracurricular activities that a large portion of the student body participate in. So you only have 3 or 4 kids that don't participate in sports and that don't participate in some kind of activity related to agriculture or a leadership club like SAD, Student Against Destructive Decisions, and that's what makes up the bulk of our extracurricular stuff because it's either sports, ag, or leadership. And the climate of the school reflects that agricultural background. It's a rural county. We have very few fights, if any, and most students share many of the same backgrounds and cultural identities. They see a lot of the similarities between each other and very rarely disagree. Um, Student background information, the race and ethnicity. Since the school is comprised currently of 100% white students, the lack of diversity is a somewhat accurate reflection of the demographics in our small rural community. Our student population does show some pretty sound cultural awareness and acceptance of other cultures, despite that lack of diversity. I've never heard anything said negatively about the LGBTQ community or African Americans or Mexican American community. I think we've got a pretty good group of kids. Our student population consists of all native English speakers. Um, this socioeconomic status is an area of concern. Our student population, is split pretty much right down the middle. Um, 48% are economically disadvantaged and 52% are not. Now that is because, we do have a fairly high population of, um, I think it was around 13% of our population is considered to live in poverty. So that's pretty high, and you can see it in our numbers. Gender, the middle school split right smack in the middle, 50% male, 50% female. And as far as age goes for our middle school kids, we don't have any kids that have been retained in previous grades, so they're all age appropriate and grade appropriate in that area. The student academic information, this comes from the KSDE website. 48% of our kids are at level 1 and only 6% are at level 4. So for reading, they're doing pretty good. Math is pretty good as well with 42% level 1 and only 4% level 4. Science, pretty high, 55% level 1 and 10% level 4. Social studies, which is what I teach, is kind of scary for me, but that's all right. Level 1, 16%. Most kids are right there in the middle, level 2, level 3, 43%, 33%, only 7% level 4. So that tells me that I need to focus on some things and to help my kids out and to raise those scores up a little bit. Educational options, placement. All of our students are placed in general education classes unless their IEP specifically calls for them to be pulled out. Um, our students are provided with accommodations based on their personal needs, all of which are documented and tracked just to verify um, progress and effectiveness. Some of those would include preferential seating, extended time, modified assignment formats, recorded reading material, or reading assistants and graphic organizers, etc. Testing accommodations are very similar. If a student needs some accommodations for test taking, we're all more than willing to help. Um, Even if it's not in their IEP, we'll give them a distraction-free environment, extended time. Sometimes teachers or parents can read questions for students if they need it, and we definitely can modify and do modify test formats based on each student. Some kids just need a little bit of their playing field narrowed down, and that's fine. That's what we do. Reflection. This assignment provided an opportunity to take an in-depth look at the demographics and academic needs of my school, which helped me establish a baseline for the evaluation of my students in a constructive and positive way. These evaluations are intended to improve on the positive learning environment I provide and the means of curriculum delivery for each student based on their personal needs. Learning about my students is incredibly important simply because this profession is built upon establishing relationships with students and learning what they need to be successful. Every student has a story, and learning about their backgrounds and how they fit into the school's culture can have incredible impacts on their achievements and social health. Learning what works for each student is paramount in the success of establishing and cultivating a positive learning environment. Exploring and understanding the demographics of a school is something that my fellow educators and administrators need to improve upon and just take time to incorporate that into their assessment of their schools. So every year, just need to take a look at what we've got going on. That allows establishing a baseline knowledge and having an idea of where the school stands academically could provide teachers incredibly valuable information regarding the learning habits of their students. I found this assignment incredibly interesting and relevant to my needs. I can't wait to see what we have next. Thanks, guys.